Welcome everyone to another episode of Normieville. In today's episode, I have more information about the possible punishment for Mr. Ja Morant. Now, we all know who Stephen A. Smith is, okay? Our OG sports commentator, all things NBA, NBA insider, Mr. Stephen A. Smith, flagship man of ESPN. Now, he has his own podcast called No Mercy on YouTube. I will leave a link to this particular video in the description box. But in here, he goes on to talk about some inside news that he has about the possible ramifications of this latest incident he's had on IG, the brandishing of the firearm on his IG Live. We all know that Ja Morant has been suspended pending an investigation. He has been suspended from all, duties and whatnot as far as the NBA and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I want to play you two parts of this video and I guess give my commentary or react to it. All right. Again, fair use for No Mercy. Stephen A. Smith, if you're watching this, I love your show. I love you as a sports personality. Please don't strike me down. In any case, I want to play the first part where Stephen A. Smith gives a recap of the events that have transpired with Ja Morant in the past. And then I'm going to fast forward to the part where he goes into his inside news about what's going on with him, possibly for the future as far as the league with the NBA commissioner and other people that I believe are in the NBA Players Association, I believe. So anyway, let's go start again. Fair use. By the way, I'm also playing this at 1 1/4 speed for YouTube censorship, so it's going a little fast, but I'm pretty sure you can get the gist of it. Again, a link to this video will be in the description box if it's too fast for you, all right?
Ja Morant, last summer, allegedly, purportedly got into a fight with a high school kid. Went after knocking him upside his head with the same friend who was with him this time. He went in his house and came outside with a gun. There's still an investigation about that.
Yep.
This February, he and that same friend, who will remain nameless, because he ain't a part of it. He's not the story Ja Morant is. But that same friend, they were in Indianapolis. And there was an investigation made by the NBA because apparently his friend got into it with members of the Indiana Pacers party, which included security, and allegedly a red laser gun was pointed at them.
Now, we all know what a red laser gun is. You know what that is anyway. But anyway, these two particular events are still, I believe, being investigated by the NBA and I think also by law enforcement even. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. You can correct me in the description box if I'm wrong. But these two events are separate from themselves, and they're also separate from the gun he brandished in the IG Live at the strip club and the weapon he brandished in this latest IG Live. So just for context.
Ja Morant was in that SUV. They couldn't prove that Ja Morant did that, so they kind of let it go. Then you had, in March, the incident where Ja Morant is at the strip club in Colorado. I forget the name. We're at the strip club, okay? And because he's at the strip club, doing his thing, making it rain, waving a gun, Memphis said, yo, suspension. NBA ultimately supported it. 8 games, over $600,000 it cost him.
I remember that. 8 games. Again, he had to go on ESPN. He had to talk to Jalen Rose. He had to go on his apology tour and talk about how he knows he's a role model and how, he wanted this won't happen again. And all this, sympathetic stuff he was talking to make people believe that he was remorseful for his actions and that this type of incident or those type of incidents won't happen again. He realized that he's not in the streets no more and all that. Again, you had Stephen Jackson come out and everybody defended him. And so by all accounts, it would seem as if he learned his lesson. He went to counseling and all of that stuff. So we figured he was on straight and narrow, right? Oh, hold on. I'm muted. Wait a second here. Let's go back.
Over $600,000 it cost him. He's supposed to be done with that. April, he bounced out of the playoffs like by LeBron and AD. And now here we are in May. And it happened again. Ladies and gentlemen.
And it happened again. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Hold on. Wait a minute. It happened again.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Well. Again, we are now back here. You've all seen it. Of course, if you watch my channel, if you watch other channels covering sports and politics, you've seen it's been all over the news. Everybody's covered it. All the YouTube personalities covered it. ESPN, Undisputed, everybody's covered it. Black and White Sports, the whole nine. Everybody's talked about it. Well, we already know he's been suspended. It was on Fox. Everybody covered it. But now what I want to get to is I want to get to the part where Stephen A. Smith starts talking about the inside news he has about the suspension coming up. Let's hear this.
Ja Morant got to get his act together. His career's on the line. I'm telling you something right now. You remember this is your boy Stephen A. talking to you. I've been covering the NBA for almost 30 years. I'm telling you, I ain't asking you. Suspension's coming. And it's going to be steep. Could be 25 games. Could be half the season. I got people calling for the entire season. And before
half the season. Wait a minute. Hold up. Half of the season. He has this huge contract, right? Endorsements, everything. Again, he's supposed to be the face of the franchise damn near. And this happens. This is his first time. This is actually the second time of a similar incident. So now people's hands are getting tied. Something's got to happen, right? So, as always, people got to be made an example of when people feel like they're being made fool of, when people feel like they're not being taken seriously, especially in an organization, any corporation. You do something twice and get caught with your pants down twice in the same situation. Guess what? You didn't learn. Now you think we're punks, right? You're not taking us serious. So now we got to, as my mom would say, we got to drop the hammer on you, okay? Check this out.
go to break, let me read you from an inside source in the NBA that has direct access to Commissioner Adam Silver, who will decide Ja Morant's penalty, along with Joe Dumars, an executive VP, a former two-time champion with the Pistons. That dude, who's now a czar within the NBA league office. Let me read to you what was sent to me by someone who has direct access to both of them. You can pick up the phone and call.
Now, I want you to listen to this, because this is going to be heavy. And if Ja Morant, if he gets this penalty right here, his NBA future could quite possibly be over.
Enemy spotted.
Yes, let's go.
Right now. This is what he said. Stephen A. on Ja Morant. Behavior detrimental to the league. Best interest of the game. Those two clauses that are relevant here. Public perception is also important. It is not a right to play in the NBA. It is a privilege. Because the NBA was so lenient in the first incident, a strong message must be sent to Ja Morant, his family, and his boys.
Sure, you're right.
Minimum half-season suspension.
Minimum.
Out pay. And if continued misbehavior exists, potential loss of his guaranteed extension.
Minimum. Not maybe, but minimum. Half the season. Also, loss of his highly paid contract extension. But it gets worse.
Also, as gambling becomes more profitable as a source of revenue to a league and its teams, players' character and the quote-unquote integrity of the game will be tested and become a more public issue. So the message of prevention of an outside force ever negatively affecting the outcome of a game must be delivered emphatically. That is what Ja Morant is facing. You still think it's a joke? Think again.
Think again. Oh, let me cut this out here real quick. Let me go back to my face here. Now, there's another part of this video. I will leave a link to that video and also the full live stream he did in the description box, because he actually goes on after that to talk about how he could possibly lose his deal with Nike. He could lose his deal with, I believe, Powerade or one of the other companies. He's got a couple, 2 or 3 high-paid endorsements that they actually paused because of the first incident, okay? And if the NBA lays down a heavy hand on this next incident, he can actually lose those endorsements, plus the extension that he had, which had a lot of money behind it. You understand what I'm saying? So the $600,000 he lost in the first suspension would be nothing compared to what he's about to lose if this goes south. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I will leave a link to both of those videos in the description box. You can watch at your leisure without interruption, and you can get your opinion and leave it in the comment section on those videos if you wish. But you see what's going on here, right? His very livelihood is at stake here. Make no mistake about it, all right? So just to give you a quick update on the latest and greatest with Ja Morant, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just a normie, trying to bring you the latest in news, entertainment, and politics. Let me know what you think down in the comment section about Ja Morant's fate. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, add the notification bell on your way out of the door, and I will see you on the next video.